Tell me what to say.
Hello and welcome to another exciting new episode of Serious Nibbage with B.R.E and
Gourmet pens. Okay.
That was the expurgated version. Now, today we'll have a look at this pen.
This pen is a pen that was sent to us for review by La Couronne du Comte. Thank you. But also to give away. So, stay tuned for details. Okay, sorry, I had lots of chocolate.
Here's the pen. Now, what was your...
This is the Visconti Classic in the green finish.
What was your first impressions?
First impressions. Well,
There you
the packaging is alright.
Well,
It's a clamshell box.
It's a bit of a take on a lot of these Visconti boxes.
Yeah,
instead
it's
of
not the
the fake leather,
wood or whatever. It's
It's all a
just
little smaller.
all right.
So you,
There are 6 finishes. They're all quite pretty. The resin is like shiny and nice and all that stuff. It's a very simple, basic pen. I think the resin is pretty, and mostly I was curious to try it because I generally like Visconti. I think their pens are pretty. Some of them are over the top, but I think a lot of them are pretty. And I was just interested in it because it's unlike their other current pens. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
I agree. First impressions were, that's an interesting looking pen. Let's try this out. Now I think that leads us into what makes this pen special. It was based on the first pen launched by Visconti, hence
Correct.
the clip that is not really like the Visconti clips that you see these days.
So I was trying to hide because the camera keeps finding my face.
That's alright. That's alright. You have a cute face, so that's so that's pretty much it. That's what makes it special, based on the first ever Visconti, and I think what makes it also quite special is that this has an 85 euro price tag, which is, I think, pretty much the cheapest Visconti you can get. And relatively speaking, I know it's not a cheap pen because of that, an inexpensive pen, but it is
the lowest on the price range
exactly
of Visconti.
for a Visconti, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, what was your writing experience like?
My writing experience. Well, it is a steel nib, and this was a medium, I believe. Yeah, it's just a standard like medium.
Schmidt.
I was actually surprised that it is a Schmidt nib. Not surprised that it's a Schmidt nib, but surprised that it is a branded Schmidt nib and not.
It has nothing Visconti-like on it.
Yeah,
It's
not
just
rebranded by Visconti or anything, so that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
To be honest, it wrote fine. I inked it up. It wrote and wrote and wrote. It didn't run dry. It didn't skip. There were no issues with it. But it's a pretty solid writer. It's pretty reliable, but I mean, the pen is comfortable. It's lightweight. It's comfortable. I was just thinking, this is not Visconti. You know what I mean? Because I'm used to their palladium nibs or their gold nibs or even their other chromium 18 steel nib, but it still feels different to this. Maybe because those are significantly smoother. Not that this is not smooth, but it's just not really smooth. So the writing experience was solid, but did not feel Visconti, if that makes any sense.
Yes,
I know that probably sounds really snobby, and I don't mean it that way, but based on my other Visconti experiences,
But this would be, I think, similar to Mont Blanc launching, well, in that case it would be something like a 400 euro pen, I guess, but an relatively inexpensive, relatively affordable model. Het komt uit de hoogte of uit de breedte, to put it Dutch. And there is, I mean, somehow, if the price is lower, they are cutting down on something, because you can't make a $500 pen for €8. That's just not possible.
Well, they probably do, and they just have huge profit margins. But
Yeah, but
aside
even so,
from that,
even so, I don't think. I mean,
yeah, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the writing experience, interesting pen, fairly thin. I think this is a model that appeals.
Thin for you, yeah.
a size that appeals to a lot of people. Simple design, works well. Nib writes fine, no issues. Yes, it is slightly feedbacky. Yes, basically you're having a stock Schmidt nib. Nothing fancy, nothing extremely tuned, but it's definitely not horrible. It writes straight out of the box. It writes just fine, and that's what you get.
Yep.
Now, what do you love and hate about it?
What do I love? Well, I think the finishes are really pretty.
Finishes are nice.
I really like finishes like this. I like that.
That marbling effect is
Yeah, I think it's really nice, and I'm really into that kind of finish on the pen. I mean, it's comfortable. It's a comfortable pen, and I think if the nib was a little more smooth for me, I might have enjoyed that a little bit more. But I mean, that's easy to fix. That's not a hard thing to do yourself. But we didn't want to fix it because we're giving it away. I mean, we didn't want to alter it because we're giving it away. Because there's no issues with it. I just like a juicier nib, I guess. So I think mostly for me, I think it's a pretty pen.
What do you not like about it?
It just didn't blow me away. But that's not really the pen's fault. It's just what it is, right? I don't really think... There's nothing wrong with it. It's not like it was a bad nib or a horrible design or anything. It's just... I just wasn't blown away.
I agree. What I like about it is that Visconti is trying to make their pens more accessible. I do think they make very interesting pens, and as you said, some are very much over the top, but there are some really pretty models. Some of my favorite pens are Visconti's. That is really cool. What I am less impressed with is the overall feeling this pen leaves, the impression it makes. And the reason for that is...
Can I butt in?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I think one simple thing they could have done was rebrand the nib.
Yeah.
Instead of the nib saying Schmidt, at least if it had like the V logo.
I don't think it actually says Schmidt. It
has
just
the...
has the M for medium.
Yeah, but
the
you know that's a
standard way.
Schmidt nib because of the M design.
All I'm saying is it's not that there is Schmidt written all over it or something.
No, but I think it
Visconti
would be
nibs
cool.
are special. They look very nice,
Yeah.
and it would be nice
even if they had
would've-
used their own their scroll design. I think that would have been neat. But
I agree.
I mean, it's really minor because if that would have added €30 to the price, is that worth it? Well, probably not, because it's probably not going to change the writing experience.
Exactly.
It's just going to change the appearance
Yeah,
of it.
but and yet I think that is an issue. Although it is a very interesting pen, in its own right, it doesn't give me the feeling that Visconti pens give me. I associate Visconti with very luxurious pens. I know they're expensive, but they feel very luxurious. They're typically well made. I think original designs like a Divina or the whole Opera series, which I think has a very unique shape, both of these pens. And there was a lot of these pens, and then you have this, which looks like it could be anything. Could be
from afar, yeah.
Could be a Parker, could be a Schaefer, it could be anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't really stand out. That doesn't make it a bad pen, and it's definitely very affordable. It's just that this does not blow me away. Whereas I have used Visconti pens that has definitely blown me away.
Here's one more thing. It doesn't come with a converter.
Yeah.
And at €85, I feel like it should.
Yeah, I think that should definitely mean there are Lamy pens that are more...
I mean, the Safari doesn't come with a converter either, but it's $25.
Yeah, but I mean, there are...
But
at this
the
price
studio...
range, I think you should
No, I
get a
don't think the
converter.
studio does either.
Well, I don't know.
Anyway.
In any case, I think there are pens at this price range that do come with a converter,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, definitely.
And that is something that kind of detracts from the experience.
Yeah.
There's that. What was the next point? Oh,
Sorry.
would you buy
I got so into it, I forgot what the next thing was. Again, not for myself. I would definitely get one as a gift for someone because the name Visconti is recognizable. I think the finishes are really pretty, especially the marbly ones. And I know it's gonna write. So which is actually probably a better chance than their other nibs, unfortunately. But I would, but again, as a gift.
Yeah.
And yes, I do give fountain pens as gifts, and I'm sure all of you do too, right? So.
Yes, I would consider this as a gift. This I can imagine would make a nice graduation gift or something that's not so expensive that it's embarrassing, and yet it's a nice gift.
It's resin, so I assume it's engravable.
But buy this for myself? No, I wouldn't. All right.
However,
or is it not? Serious Nibbage.
I'm gonna put it at a halfway. Well, maybe just below half.
No. I'll put it there.
So that's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, it's a nice pen. No real faults in it. It's just that when you have come to associate a brand with a specific type of quality, and this pen not so much underperforms, but just doesn't really blow you away.
Yeah.
I think it's
but there's absolutely nothing wrong with it
No.
in terms of its performance.
No.
And or design, because it is comfortable, it does write, and I don't think it's not a bad thing.
Now, what else could you get at this price range?
Well, I think at this price range you're looking at
Lamy Studio,
yeah, the Lamy Studio steel
which
with the
also
steel
has some
nib.
nice finishes.
Yeah, very pretty finishes.
You can buy $8-10 pens of an unknown brand.
Wow, I'm having a hard time coming up with some of these things. A Nippon set.
Yeah.
But you could also get aren't the Parsons Italics in this price range?
Yeah, I guess some italics.
Some of them are.
Italics pen that
That's
would
no, the
be.
Parsons, the small one.
I
Anyway,
think that's £39. But
Uh,
you will find something. I mean, it's this kind of model. I mean, if you look at Schaefer's, I think you will find a lot that looks kind of like this. And there's other
the
options.
Prelude.
Yeah, Prelude. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are options.
Yeah, there are
this
quite a
is
few
decent
options.
price
Yeah,
range,
85 euros is pretty. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty up there.
pretty decent.
Yeah, you really have quite a few options depending on what your taste is, like what you're looking for. So.
All right, now how can you win this?
How can you win this?
This pen, this specific pen, I'm holding in my hand. You're smacking yourself.
How can they win this? What do they have to do?
You can win this by telling us what in your mind is the most classic pen ever made.
Ah, I like that.
Let us know, leave a comment below, and 72 hours after this video has become public, we shall
Close the entries.
draw a winner, and we'll let you know as soon as possible. But the
Open worldwide.
yes,
We will ship it to you.
We'll ship it worldwide
And
because we're nice.
thank you again to La Couronne de Compte
Yes,
for
thank you.
donating this for review and for giveaway. That is super cool.
It is.
Super cool.
We hope this was useful.
Yeah, and we will see you
And,
later. And good luck in the giveaway.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.